One more game in 2025, and it's a big one. UCLA gearing up for the crosstown showdown this Saturday at the Coliseum. Nick Koop joined by the former UCLA quarterback Wayne Cook as we welcome you back on the Bruin Insider Show. And as we do each week at this time, we get to catch up with the interim head coach Tim Skipper. Coach, great to see you as always. I know last weekend, senior night did not go how anyone would have liked it to. What's the message this week as you guys get ready to bounce back and play 60 more minutes of football to close the year?
Yeah, to be honest with you, we didn't talk much about the last game. We kind of just wiped it. I maybe said 30 seconds worth of anything about the last game, and we moved right into this week, this battle for L.A. We watched a documentary that we kind of put together, a piece from different documentaries all into one, lasted about 5 minutes, and then we just talked about what our goals are and things like that. Just trying to regroup and just like we're in a one-game season now. That's all that matters now. So it was 6 days, because we were talking yesterday, 6 days to get our bodies right, get our minds right, and pull forth our best effort we've had all year. So that's kind of the goal right now.
Well, that hurts me because I was going to go back just a little bit. I don't want to now, but I'll ask I'll ask a bigger picture question, Coach. One of the things that you don't want in a second half of a football game, and again, I was trying to figure out a way to articulate this in our postgame show. Like, when it looks like a team lies down, like it kind of felt that way when we were playing New Mexico a while ago, and the way this game got away from us. And I was trying to think about it, that I don't think athletes are quitting. I just think there's no juice at one point. We use that phrase a lot. Like when you're fighting like crazy to keep battling, but there's literally no energy. Like, I mean, people are trying, like you're trying, Coach. I watch you on the sidelines, but it's some of the players on the team, but man, it's really hard to conjure that up. And I think that even as players, we've been through that too, where you're fighting like crazy, but it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah. And that was one of those games you're like waiting for that big play that's just going to fuel all the emotion and get it all flowing, and you never really got it. When Cole Martin got that interception, I was like, okay, this is our moment right here. I mean, I thought we had it, and then we botched the field goal, and it all snowballed. Like, as soon as we felt any kind of goodness, it just backfired on us. So we never had that moment of just pure joy and, all right, now we're rolling. Never happened.
Nick, just a quick follow-up, because, Coach, first of all, I mean, the way you answer every question the way you should, which is fantastic, and I don't really want to ever corner anybody, but you mentioned the field goal and the fake, and I'm assuming there's a look you wanted. And not only, I mean, the throw and the play, it didn't work, but it wasn't going to work anyway because the guy was coming off the edge. Yeah. I'm just curious if you could explain what went into that.
So a lot. So first off, it was like going to be 4th and 4 or something like that. Yeah. But we got a penalty. So we were ready to go out there, and then we saw the penalty, and then they replayed it down and moved it back. So it became 3rd and 14, 15, something like that. And then we had an incomplete pass. So we go out there. Now the field goal has to have a certain look, and once you get to that depth, you're like, all right, we're not going to get the look. But guys had heard we're gonna do it when we were in that 4th and 4 range. So we go out there, and Huddy's out there, and he's the one that's going to make the call. And they stemmed into a safe look. Didn't give us the look we wanted. So Huddy gave the signal, hey, we're kicking the ball, but we didn't get it from the holder, and then it got all nasty. So half the people were kicking, half the people weren't, and that's why it looked the way it looked.
Yeah.
Well, you guys were able to make up that special team score with one of your own later in the game. And Kanye Clark, a guy who got to play a little bit more because Roderick Pleasant was out, and he made the hit that jarred the ball free on punt coverage that allowed Jameer Benjamin to pick it up and score late in the game for you guys. What'd you see out of Kanye getting extensive snaps for the first time in a little while?
Yeah, it was good to see. He can run. I mean, his speed, you can see the speed out there. He made some big hits out there, obviously, and he was having fun. That's what I'll say. He was having fun. Like we always talk, you're going to have a moment, you better be ready for it. And he was ready for his moment. He made some impact plays. So very happy for him, and we'll keep on growing from that.
Coach, are there discussions about, because I see this all over college football, this isn't just us, are there discussions about how you handle being in a game when you're winning by a lot and losing by a lot, and how you handle your emotions, because it got a little squirrely a little while. Do you guys have conversations about those types of moments and not letting it get away from you?
Yeah, you definitely do. You have a lot of them before the game, and then obviously it seems like once you get in the game, everybody forgot you had those conversations. So you have to continue them. And it always gets bad when the score gets out of hand. That's when the emotions are at the highest. So I think both sides kind of got into it a little bit, a little too much. And we had an offsetting penalty one time and things like that. But it could have been a lot worse, but it wasn't where we wanted it to be. So, you always stand on your team like, hey, just keep your composure, be a pro, and play the full game the way it's supposed to be played.
Yeah.
We got a sense right away of what you guys were trying to do defensively with DeMond Williams, the quarterback, and trying to contain him and just keep him right there in the pocket. And for a while, you guys were really successful in doing that in the first half. Yeah.
It was the plan was working very well. We had some big-time stops on defense, forcing them to kick field goals and things like that, because the field position battle, we were not winning that in the beginning of the game. We had some turnovers on offense that put us in some sticky situations. But the plan was working pretty good, and then, like all good teams, once they start to figure it out, they start to piece together drives and things like that. I thought we contained them pretty well, but a little bit of what we were doing, there wasn't much rush up the field, because you really can't, or you're going to open up the lanes. So we were just trying to push them back. Well, then we started getting all these cross-country routes that they started doing in the second half, and had our DBs running across the field. So, and he hit a couple of those. So things like that you wish you could get back, but I like the way we played on defense. Just the second half, it got away from us, and we kind of wore down, and then they had some successful drives.
It seems to be a theme, right, Coach? Like the defense is hanging in there. It's not as good as we want it, right? We still need a little bit more of a pass rush, and we still could be better in some areas. But it felt like, even at halftime, I'm like, I didn't think we played that bad. But when the offense just can't find anything, we have the downfield throw, and I don't know if it showed on film if it was tipped or not, or if the hand was in the face. But you talk about it. You're going to have your moment. You got to make your plays. And I'm not picking on anybody, but like, we've all been there. I've missed guys when I should have hit them, and they're wide open. And it's the worst feeling in the world. You just have to let everybody know, hey, that one's on me. But it just has been so hard. To get these explosive plays, and we just keep missing.
Yep, and you have to make plays, man. When your number's called, you got to make the plays. We'll keep battling. We'll keep working. You never know. That play you're talking about, we complete that thing, it might be a totally different game.
Yeah, totally.
You just never know. And that's the emotion plays we're talking about. We just never got that play. It just takes one. Once you get that one play, it could change the whole dynamic of the game. So hopefully we can get more of those this week, and we can capitalize on it.
Coach, just a funny thing, because I've been reminiscing about the Rose Bowl, and who knows why I would do that, but I've been reminiscing about it. There's a lot of craziness out there. Against Washington a million years ago, we were down 15-0 against Napoleon Kaufman and really good early 90s teams, and I threw a slant coming out of our end zone, and J.J. Stokes took it for 95 yards. Longest pass play in UCLA history. But I'm telling you, man, that place flipped real fast, and we ended up winning a huge game that year in a championship season. But it's an example of exactly what you're talking about. Those types of plays have a way of getting everybody that juice we were talking about earlier, and it matters.
Yep, it just takes one. Just somebody's got to make that play, and then the whole game changes.
Yeah.
Further complicating things for the offense, though, was that your quarterback goes down, and Nico Iamaleava left the game with a neck injury. We saw Luke Duncan a little bit more. I know we still have runway left in this week before you get to Saturday and take it on USC, but right now, what do things look like for the quarterback position and how you're preparing for this final game? Yeah, so Nico had some neck spasm stuff. He kind of got tackled weird, and he rolled around, and his neck started spasming him up, and it didn't settle down during the game. Finally started to settle down the next day on Sunday, and we're just kind of just waiting to see how that's going to all play out, and then we'll know on how he practices. It's kind of day-to-day right now is what I'd put it, but hopefully he's feeling a lot better. We're going to meet here as a staff later on tonight and get more information, and then we'll go from there.
Coach, I get excited about the little things with quarterbacks. Luke has a couple of just beautiful throws, and one of them, and again, I feel like this is a little bit of a lost art. He's stepping forward into the crossing route, and he's going to get hit. which is how quarterbacks from my era were raised. Like, you're going to get hit. Like, they used to take 2 steps after we threw it and hit us. And so here goes the old guy, right? Old guy bragging. Yeah, they got 6 steps, like, and they could still hit us, and then they could pile drive us, and they could hit us in the chin. I got the scars to prove it. But either way, Coach, I was really impressed with what he did. Not only that one, but on other throws. But I loved him stepping into that throw and throwing an absolute dart and hitting the guy in stride, which is huge. Huge.
And you know how critical those throws are. And those are the type of plays, though, that if that happened earlier, could have changed the game. Because then you hit him in stride and he's out of there. But I mean, you just talk about Luke. He's learning and getting better all the time. Like, from the start of the Ohio State game to when we finished this last one against Washington, he's 10 times better. Like, it's not even funny. You can see the confidence on his face. I mean, he let it rip. And he's just going to keep getting better and better. I'm excited for him.
All right, I say let's look ahead to Saturday. What do you say, Wayne?
I'm ready.
I'm just curious, Coach, what is your sense of this rivalry, getting ready for this game coming up?
Oh, so growing up as a kid, I always watched this game. Like, this was the one I was always going to watch. Like, I didn't care where I lived. You know, I have a coaching family, so we're moving around a little bit. It didn't matter. I was going to watch this one. And it was, back in the days, it was always on the channels that your grandma has at her house. So there wasn't all this cable and all that stuff. So you always got to watch this one. And I'm excited for it, just to be part of it. Just only being able to watch it now, I can actually take part in it and coach in it is awesome. I like everything about it. I like how the home teams wear, or each team wears their home jerseys. I like how you paint the bell blue. I'm not going to say the other color. And the unique thing about it right now is the last 5 meetings, the road team has won. So there's just a lot of history. I think the first game was in 1929. It's just awesome. I mean, this is wonderful. So just happy to be a part of it and excited to get it going.
I'm throwing you some good mojo. My class was the first class to go 4-0 against the Trojans, Coach. So like, I'm throwing a little bit your direction right now. Like, we gotta make this thing happen. So I'm watching TV, and I watch too much sports talk stuff. And there's a coach out at Ole Miss that's been in the media a lot lately, in Lane Kiffin. But he made a comment that I thought was interesting when they were talking about the noise. He kind of said we're living in a different generation where he didn't feel like the kids cared if the coaches were talking and didn't care about, like, he was almost like this modern era of players are only concerned about money. And it was really he worded it better than I just did. But I had a thought after the game with Nick and I doing the post game. I just wonder, because you couldn't get away from this game on TV. I could name the Rodney Pete Troy Aikman games, the Tommy Maddox Todd Marinovich games, myself against Rob Johnson. Like, you could the John Barnes game. You could go back and start naming games, and it was Eric Affolter. That was a good one for the bad guys when he caught the ball out of bounds. Like, there's so many games that we could talk about and we remember. I'm not so sure if the athlete of today really knows or lived through the experiences like we were just talking about. So as a coach, what do you do to make them feel like this is as big as we all think it is?
Yeah, and I think you hit it right on the head. And the main thing is the guys don't watch football as much.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing way other things. Like, just on a Monday night, you will ask the guys if they watched the Monday night game, and almost the entire team did not watch it. They don't even know who played in it. They have no idea. Wow. So that is definitely a thing. We wanted to start Sunday with that documentary so everybody on the team understood how important the game is, because now you have all these transfers and things like that. We have guys from the East Coast, and they might not really understand what we're about to get into. So we wanted to set that table right now on Sunday and then build it all the way throughout the week. So that's kind of our way of getting it done. We'll do some stuff tomorrow morning. I don't want to say anything right now, but we'll do stuff tomorrow morning. And each day we're going to have different things that are going to build into it. We'll have a good Thanksgiving, and then we'll move into Friday, and then we'll get this thing cracking on Saturday.
Good.
As far as X's and O's go, we were talking about DeMond Williams, a Washington quarterback, earlier, and a different mobile quarterback in Jaden Mayava, but still a guy who lives on freelancing plays. And so having to go up against Williams this past week and the way you guys work to contain him, is that helpful in a preview of what you guys need to do defensively coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, we played against some mobile guys, so every time that those different challenges have always been good for us. Lincoln Riley does a very good job with his offense of keeping you off balance and keeping you guessing. He's just reading our defense, and he's getting to check into what he wants. So we're going to have to do a good job, all 11, showing one thing and then doing another. And we're going to have to tackle well because these athletes are very good in space. The quarterback, he makes very good decisions. He's a real good leader out there. He's a pilot, captain type guy. He's kind of controlling the action. So we're going to have to confuse him, and we're going to have to tackle him when he runs too. And then we have to cover down on all these receivers. Their O-line's big guys, so when they pull, they love to run counters. We're going to have to take those guys on and get off the block. So there's a lot of fundamental stuff that's going to happen in this game that we're going to need to be on top of our game for a full 60 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, USC, I know they just got beat up at Oregon, and the score was a little bit, but before that, their only 2 losses were on the road and by 2. I mean, this is a team that's a close, knocking on the door for being a playoff team, and I would argue they have that talent. And so, I agree with everything you just said. It just feels like on the other side, the offense is going to have to – I mean, in the modern era of college football, it feels like the offenses need to score. The way the rules work and the way everything else works, you've got to be able to put up some points. So as good as you can play on defense, how do we figure out a way to spark – we see little moments, right, Coach? We see little moments, but we don't see consistency. And it's like, how do we find that consistency? Because that does 2 things. One, it gives us all that energy we want, but also keeps him off the field. And you want to see less of Mekhi Lemon. You want to see more of our guys on the field doing their thing.
Yeah, and it's a whole thing like we talked yesterday. Just look, we have 6 days, and we're now at 5 that we all have to lock in and buy into what we're doing. It's going to take everybody. We're all going to have to be on the same page every single play. I do believe, though, if we can hit some big plays early, it'll get us going throughout the rest of the game. When we have to wait for that big play to happen in the second half, that's when we're in trouble. So we just have to generate it early, and then we'll just keep on going with that momentum and get through the game. But SC's defense is very good, too. They're not going to give us anything easy. So we're going to have to generate it. We're going to have to make plays. We're going to have to do things that is this guy is a good player. It's not just, we schemed it up this certain way. We're going to have to make guys miss and then get some rack yards after contact.
Yeah.
And they're a team that, when they're on offense, they like to create those big plays, take those deep shots down the field. If not a catch, maybe a pass interference. How do you coach your secondary to handle all of that? Because I think more than the average team, they are going to push the ball down the field and challenge guys in those situations.
Definitely. And they're one of the most explosive teams in the Big Ten. The numbers are crazy. We're going to have to get hands on them, and then we're going to have to run with them, and then we're going to have to turn and locate the ball. It comes down to that. As simple as I say that, it's hard to do. But that's what it is, because if we don't get hands on them, they have too much speed. They're just going to run by us. So we're going to have to get our hands on them, and then we're going to have to locate the ball so we don't get those penalties. And then once you locate it, now you have to play the ball. And hopefully we can make some plays on the ball and get some picks and not just deflections and change the tide of the game a little bit.
I've watched a lot of these games, Coach, and I've seen it when the numbers are supposed to be lopsided, and it just doesn't turn out that way. It's a weird environment at the Coliseum. I think you're going to appreciate it, but if you can feel, you can kind of feel the animosity towards UCLA. You can hear it a little bit too. Even the people that work the sidelines don't seem to like you very much. It's kind of a rude environment. I'm not going to lie. But it's fun, and if you can get it, like you said, if you start out early enough and make some plays early, then it gets a little crazy. And that's what's so fun about rivalry games. I don't care which one you're talking about. If you hang in there and make that favorite think, and they start pressing, it's game on at that point.
Definitely. And we're ready for that environment. That sounds awesome how you described it.
Exactly.
Just go in there, just us getting off the bus, and let's go against everybody that's in the stadium. I love that. And the players love it too. We kind of talked about that already. It's just, let's go do it. Hopefully we make a big play early. That momentum gets on our side, the sideline gets going, and we can just carry it all the way throughout the game. But these games are always going to be seesaw-type things, and there's going to be a ton of moments and things like that happening. We just need to make sure we play Bruin football and take care of business.
Yeah.
All right, Coach, I got to put you on the spot real quick here for one more because it is Thanksgiving this week. I got to know what is on Coach Skipper's ideal Thanksgiving plate.
So I'm a turkey guy, so I'd have turkey. I would have to have some kind of sweet potatoes, some kind of way. I'm big into sweet potatoes. My mom makes this like casserole that has pecan candy like on top of it, and it's just awesome. Should be for dessert, but it's not. It's just a side. And then speaking of dessert, I'm a pecan pie guy. So I like pecan pie at the end with some ice cream on top, and it has to be vanilla ice cream, and that's the perfect way. I like it when I eat like after practice, go to sleep, and then eat again later in the evening while football is on. So that is my way of doing things. But the turkey and the sweet potato has to be there, and then you cap it all off with some pecan pie with some vanilla ice cream, and that's a good day.
Oh. God, that sounds. Hey, well, that leads us in. First of all, I stuffing potatoes, turkey, gravy on everything, and then I love rolls. My mom makes just simple rolls, and I mean butter and jam, and then lots of dessert. Just whatever. And again, I want to eat again later. Like I need more food.
That has to happen.
It has to happen. What do you do with the players and travel, and how do you handle the whole? Do they have everybody has a place to go, I assume, and you figure that all out?
Yeah, so we're actually treating it like a home game, really, to be honest with you. But we're going to do Thanksgiving dinner on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we'll do that as a team. We'll all eat and everything. So we have meetings in the evening time on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And on Tuesday, we're going to do that and have it as a team here. And then on Thanksgiving, we'll have like lunch for them, but it's more to-go style. And then the guys that have family in town and all that stuff, they'll be able to get away and go and get home and things like that. Some kids are going to coaches' houses, so there's a whole setup thing going on. And then we will start Friday a little later. So people that had to drive a little bit can get back here on Friday. So we'll meet later in the AM. Then we'll do our little mock game that we always do. I'll give them some more free time. Then we'll come back Friday night and really lock into the game. Yep. And then like a home game, we would stay in a hotel in Pasadena. Well, we're just going to walk across the practice field and stay right there in the campus hotel.
Nice.
And go to sleep, play the game.
Sounds like a great week. Coach, before we wrap, this is the last time we're going to have a chance to talk to you this year on the program, and just wanted to say thanks for your candor throughout the season. And, you preach consistency as a coach, and you've given that to Wayne and I throughout the year, and we appreciate that. And I think Bruin fans, I could speak for them in saying thanks for some fun memories this year, given the circumstances of the season. So here's to one more fun memory this year, and I know Wayne has more to offer as well.
Well, that was well said, Nick. Coach, I just want to say thank you. I mean, it's been you're an easy interview. Trust me, I've had a lot of coaches that I've had to interview. You always have an answer, and I don't think in the world we live in today, it's appreciated as much. Whether we're winning or losing, you're the same guy. And trust me, I can feel your emotions too. I can feel your passion, but you know you always have an answer for the question. Let's just put it that way. And you do a great job, and I appreciate that. And whatever happens next, Coach, we got this week's game, so this isn't it. But I hope to see a lot more of you because I've enjoyed getting to know you.
Oh, definitely, man. It's awesome. I appreciate you guys, man. This doesn't feel like an interview, I guess is the best way I'd put it. Like we're just talking ball, and it's awesome. I'm starting to think I remember our very first show, and Wayne, you were like, I didn't even know who you were. I didn't even know you were on the field. So it is awesome how far we have come all the way to this moment. And I'll say this also, it has flown by. I guess time flies when you're having fun. So it's been great. I appreciate you guys, and let's finish this the right way.
Yes,
sir. Let's do that. Pre-game radio coverage on Saturday from the Coliseum will begin at 3 o'clock on our flagship station, AM 790 KABC. We will talk to you then.